Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the E. Zion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we're going to try to calm everybody down and we're going to have a little fun today. One of our favorite people in the whole world is with us today, Coach Stan Waterman from Delaware State University, head men's basketball program. So we've been through a whole lot of stress over the last couple of weeks, what's going on with the election. We're going to take a woosa moment and we're going to talk about basketball and we're going to see what they have for us because they really showed us a great time on last year. Call somebody real quickly. Tell them Coffee with Curry is on and let's get after it.
Good morning, Delaware and surrounding areas. You are now tuned in to this week's Coffee with Curry. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. with new guests every week. So grab your cup of coffee and join us on Coffee with Curry.
And we're back. Well, Coach Waterman, I'm so glad I was able to grab you because I know the season has started and you are able to come and spend a little bit of time with us, and I really appreciate that so much. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Always looking forward to an opportunity to sit down and catch up with you. It'll be beneficial for me because you always drop a nugget or two that I'll take and use.
Okay, well, I appreciate that so much, but I know that you're really busy right now. But I promised the people the last time we were together that we would try to come back together before, given all that was going on with the NIL and how you lost so many players. But you're Coach Stan Waterman, and people don't understand. You're not Jesus, but I want to just kind of give an analogy. You can do anything but fail. But you're Coach Stan Waterman, and you have a long track record of taking pieces to bring about a whole. Mm-hmm. And I'm just grateful that even though, you know, the program that you now as the head coach of, you don't have the money that some other large universities may have. And we lost, 5 or 6 players?
Yeah, indeed. We lost, we had 5, 6 guys transfer out at the end of last season. And so we had to rebuild a little bit, reload, so to speak. And I like what we put together.
Okay, good. And sometime a little bit further in the show, we are going to talk about what you're bringing in. Okay. But I do know that was a major blow to the program. But you know, they have to do what they have to do, and I loved your attitude where you weren't upset, but you were upset. You weren't upset, but you were upset because you wanted to keep what you had because you had built an awesome team.
Well, thank you, and it's a process, and that's what we try to do. I want to try to build a program. Not be one of those schools where you're good every 2 or 3 years, where you land a couple of good players. But I want to have a program where year in and year out we're competing, we're producing, competing for championships. The college basketball game is kind of the state of affairs right now. I know last year when we initially found out that we had guys leaving, I took it personally and I started to do some introspection and some reflection and said, am I doing anything wrong? Is there something that they're unhappy with? And, later on you kind of realize that with the NIL, the name, image, and likeness, that's what it's come to with college basketball. Guys are leaving, coming and going. The day of having a young man for 4 years, that's gone.
Yeah.
You're lucky and fortunate if you can hang on to him for a year, maybe 2.
Yeah, and it's interesting because when you brought them in, it was like you got your team, and they showed you that they were working for you, but they got seen through you, the program that you built and put them on that platform. But again, with their image and being able to be paid for it, thank God that you were a catalyst to get them to be seen.
Well, thank you. And again, it's an opportunity for me. I'm thankful and blessed to have the opportunity to be down at Delaware State and impact the lives of so many young people. But this time around now, they have the opportunity to come in. And if we have any success at our level, as I said, the state of affairs is now where the big boys are going to come in and they're going to poach our guys. So it is a testament to our program, to Delaware State University, that the young men that we recruited and attracted had some success. And somebody else thought that we were doing something with them. We put a little shine on them, and they're gone.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But before we get started, how dare me? I can't believe this. I always ask how's Robin and the family doing. So how's Robin doing first?
Thank you. She's doing very well. Very well. Robin's doing well. we just came off of a great weekend last weekend. I'll take a second just to brag and promote family a little bit. My daughter, Paris, was inducted to the Brown University Athletic Hall of Fame. So
excellent.
we had a great weekend up in Providence with my grandson, Cairo, and my son-in-law, Cairo. But family is everything to me, and that's the way we run the program. But it all starts at home. And having Robin supporting me is unbelievable.
Yeah, and I heard through the grapevine about your daughter being inducted. Could you just take a moment, if you don't mind, just to talk a little bit about what she did? First, she went to Brown, which is an Ivy League, and that's excellent. And that speaks to you building this village that you're building, not just off the court, but not just on the court, but off the court as well. But tell me a little bit about the sport she played, because I think she played a couple sports.
Yep.
And what she was just inducted into.
Yeah, sure. So again, I'd love to congratulate her, and I take the opportunity anytime that I can to tell people about how proud we are and how blessed we are that favor has been upon our family, and particularly her. Coming out of high school in Delaware in 2007, Paris was the Female Athlete of the Year. She was first-team All-Stater, basketball, lacrosse, and field hockey.
Right.
Was blessed with the opportunity to go to Brown University, one of the highest academic institutions in the country, and then to be able to play not one, but two sports at the Division I level.
Wow.
She played lacrosse, and of course she played basketball, which was where my heart was. In the end, she had to choose one sport. She chose lacrosse, ended up having a great career there, represented the USA national team, and then graduated, is now a member of the Brown University Board of Trustees, continues to be involved with Brown and Brown athletics. And so when she got that call a couple months ago that she was going to be inducted into the University Hall of Fame, that was a feather in her cap, and we couldn't have been more proud. So we had a weekend. We went up there. They celebrated her, honored her, recognized her for all of her contributions that she made at that university, and it's a place that we'll never forget.
And it's another thing people really don't know. They know Stan, the basketball hero, the one who's done very good with teams. Now they know that you have a daughter who's doing very well, but they may not know that she's not just athletically inclined, but she's also a professional.
Yes, indeed.
Could we share, what does she do?
Sure. Well, she's currently an attorney.
Thank you.
She's an in-house attorney with J.P. Morgan Chase.
With a Brown's degree, an attorney.
Well, her undergraduate degree is from Brown, and her J.D. is from George Washington University
Law
School.
Yes. Okay.
That's where she went and attended law school there, and is now working in corporate and entertainment and sports management.
Wow, that's what money
with Chase. And so she loves that job, gives her the opportunity to use her law background, but in a field that she really loves and enjoys.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I wanted to share that because a lot of times the level of success that you've had and how you've been able to impact so many young people's lives, many times, just like me being a pastor, you could pastor people, but you can't pastor your family.
That's right.
And it starts with the family.
Yeah.
And you have really been a great illustration of that. And I'm grateful that the people who are watching us can see that you're not just an external successful person, but internally you are too, because you're a God-fearing man as well.
Absolutely, and that's the way I was raised. I was raised right here in this church.
Yeah,
in a family that we were taught, a family that prays together, stays together, all the cliches, and under your leadership, Reverend Johnson, people that I know that I grew up with as a young man and instilled in us the values of hard work and discipline and being God-fearing. Yeah. And then, as I said, my parents, who've been married for more than 65 years together and raising us in a certain way, and then being blessed.
And there's a lot of y'all too.
Absolutely. There's 6 of us. 6 of us. And that's just the bloodline. The family runs deeper and it's a whole lot larger. And as I was going to say, then being fortunate enough to find, the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains the favor of the Lord. And my wife, Robin, has been by my side in this coaching thing for more than 30 years and couldn't have any of the success that we've had without her. Yeah,
I enjoy seeing her. Every game I go to, which I don't go to as many as she as well, she's always there, and it's like she's a part of she's a part of the establishment. Because
she's having to adjust this year. I'm sorry, I cut you off there, because being involved in at the high school level, she could be more of team mom, and really get involved with the youngsters. Now we're dealing more with young men, and it's a little bit different, and you got to tread a little lighter, but she's still involved and as supportive as ever. And again, I couldn't thank her enough for that.
But the people, because my seats is not too far from her seats. The people interact as if she is the team mom, even though she may not be doing the things she did as a high school team mom. But she is very much loved and supported, and because she had the grandbaby there who they just showering all kind of gifts on. Every time I come, they got new toys, new trucks, new everything for him. How's he doing, by the way?
He is doing well, Cairo, and he believes he's a part of the team right now.
Yeah.
So he comes down to practices. He's at the game. Like I said, he knows the roster from top to bottom, first and last name. He's at home emulating everything he sees our guys doing.
Wow.
He's trying it. So I want to make sure that I got good models in front of him too.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, I want to make sure that every chance we can get to get you here, we want to, because a lot of times people are not welcome in their own town, and you are supported in Wilmington. And I want all of those of you who are watching us to make sure that we come to these games, because it's just electrifying. And it's not, you made a comment earlier that you don't want to just win a few games and then don't win anymore. In other words, you don't want to be like Dallas Cowboys. You want to be more like the Eagles and just be consistent in your play. But I agree, and I want the people to see constantly that you are doing a great work, and the program is still going forward. We got a lot of questions we want to ask as we continue to move forward. But the first year, you came into a program who had not really won anything, and you won 2 games.
Right.
You didn't celebrate to the level, but you was grateful that you won 2 games. Came on the show, and I said, see, you done tripled it. Put a good spin on it.
Right. That's
you
right.
won 6 games. Last year, man, what is going on? I mean, 16 games.
Yeah.
You again, you 6, well, almost tripled it again.
Right.
And you almost took MEAC.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, it was a lot of fun. And again, it speaks to, if anybody was listening when I was first hired, I said, be patient. And it's a process. And it took some time to develop.
Yeah. One,
we started with changing the culture, which we did. We got guys to buy in and to understand the importance of discipline and being a team player, high character, things that you had to do off the court. Acting like a champion before you are a champion.
Right.
That's what we were trying to do. So we got the culture changed. And then that year number 2, we changed the roster and our personnel a little bit. We got a little bit better players. We were able to instill some of our philosophies. And then as that process continued last year, we just kept working and kept our head down and kept building and improving every day. And then around March, right around the tournament time, it seemed to click.
Yeah.
We got hot, and we got to a point where we were playing our best basketball going into the MEAC tournament, and we made it to the MEAC championship game just 2 minutes away from being in the NCAA tournament. And to have that kind of a transformation in a short 3-year period is really, really unheard of. But it's a testament to the university. It's a testament to the young men that we recruited, a testament to my coaching staff, and everything that we're trying to build. Yeah, and I like the fact that your spirit has been not to be controversial, but I said to as many people, whether it be on this show, while I was on the Source, that you all were playing 6 guys that game. Y'all should have won that. Yeah. I don't care I'm not being biased. Y'all were playing 6 guys on that situation. There's a couple calls I really challenged, and I went at it, but I only did it with you because you were very positive, and I want to make sure you keep your energy keep going route you going. But let me be the fighter for you on the other side. But I will say that when I watched that game, and then the heartbreak, they believed in your system, and they began to execute it, and to see them when it did not. When they didn't finalize the process, what they want to do, to see the heartbreak spoke to how much they were really devoted to this. No, it really did. And we talked about it since it happened. We talked about it immediately after it happened. And literally, as you described it, walking off of that floor down in Norfolk, we were like inches away from on one side of the floor. You walk off the floor and the team that just lost is heartbroken. There's despair and tears, and guys are crying, and you got to scrape them up off the floor. And just 2 feet away, confetti's falling, and they're celebrating, and they're dancing and talking about the opportunity to go in and play in the NCAA tournament. So it's just that close, that fine line. But again, the belief that our guys demonstrated in us and the game plan and everything that we talked about over the course of the year to get to that point, and to see that, the fruits of their effort and their labor almost come to fruition is exciting and will be a catalyst and a springboard for us as we look towards this season.
Yes. Now, how are your coaches? Do you have the same coaches?
Have the same coaching staff. It's funny, we had our first game of the season the other night, and I was doing an interview with some of the reporters. They came and watched our shoot around that morning, and he said, Coach, this is really unique. He said, I'm seeing you 3 years removed. And he said, I got to tell you, you're probably the only program in the country that has a coaching staff with the same coaches you started with. He said, it's just that rare and just that unique that happens. But there's a group of us, a group of guys that really like each other, that really trust each other. Mm-hmm. We hold each other accountable, and I think we work really well together. So I love the coaching staff that I have and the job that they're doing, and I hope to be able to maintain them. They're going to be rising stars, some of the younger guys, and they will have some opportunities to move on because of some of the success that we've had. And then got an older guy like Horace Owens who's been around, and he's probably just going to stay there until I go.
Yeah. But you made a comment so you'll know how I pay attention when we have our little interactions. You made a comment. You said that when they first hired you, you said everybody became my friend because you get calls from all over the world, but you were going to take it slow, and you're looking for somebody or people who were, God-fearing, who were married and consistent in all those things, to be role models. That's basically, I don't want to put all the words in your mouth, but you were very clear on that, and you were going to be strategic on it because you had not hired yet. You were on, that was one of the first shows we did with you. And for those 3 years that I've been watching you all, I've watched how y'all mesh very well. Yeah. And it's no big I, little you. It's more or less a team.
No, we do. Well, thank you. And I appreciate that. I know I'm biased, but I believe we have the best in the business. And again, looking for guys to fortify me in areas that I may have a weakness of, to cover up some of the things that we might be lacking.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, what I want to do is I want to ask Coach, what do you have now? Who is this? 6 of his players left, not because they didn't like Stan, but they left because they can make some money, which in this era, we understand it. But he got some new players. He got also some returning players. So I'm just trying to get a feel for what is going on with the team and how he's feeling things are going to come together. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
As a mom, I want my kids' lives to be filled with joy and possibility. And I want that for every kid. That's why I support No Kid Hungry. They work in schools and communities to make sure every kid gets the healthy meals they need. Please join me in supporting No Kid Hungry for all kids.
Thank you.
Not today.
I'm here. You can tell me anything.
I see you. We're in this together.
Breakthroughs are happening.
Treatments are evolving.
The stats can change.
Society can change.
We can all say, not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
If we're together, bound to be better. When we're together.
Local news and politics in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. The latest headlines with your host, Dr. C.T. Curry.
But they get rich, getting new cars, getting new houses, getting new opportunities, but the community is still getting nothing.
And co-host, Kobe Owens.
And from that time, we have slowly seen our democracy become under attack.
Weekly episodes. Sundays at 5 p.m. The Source.
You have a 1 in 14 million chance
of winning the lottery,
1 in 13 million chance of becoming an astronaut,
but 1 in 9 women will develop breast cancer.
Over 9,000 women in Ontario
will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year.
Early detection is so important.
Women over 50 should have a breast screening mammogram
Every 2 years.
Women over 30 who are
High risk should
Speak to their doctor about early screening.
Put the odds in your favor.
speak to your healthcare provider today.
And we're back. Great conversation with Coach Waterman. I'm just elated to be here. And I'm gonna say it on the air. I don't know who's in that ticket office, but we're gonna have to talk. I'm gonna have to call Tony because they ain't called me about my tickets yet, and you're gonna have a game already. But that's all right. I won't put them on blast right now. I'll leave it there. Don't say nothing.
Okay. All right.
I'll just deal with it later. But listen, you got some new players. You got some returning players. The Wilmington wants to know what you got on. What's going on with the team?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. As many of you know, we lost 5 or 6 guys to the transfer portal last year, but we were able to go out and recruit, and we're not having any trouble attracting guys. So Delaware State is a viable option. Okay. Our program is on the rise. Okay. So we're not having a whole lot of trouble attracting guys. The trouble for us with this new NIL, name, image, and likeness, we'll be able to maintain and keep them. But anyway, I'll just start with what we have, and I love the team that we put together. We'll be different. We'll look a little bit different, but I think we have the ability and the potential to be even better than we were last year. We have a young man returning, Corey Perkins, who played with me at Sanford, or played for me at Sanford. Corey missed the majority of the season last year, broke his hand in the 3rd game, ended up not playing the rest of the season. So we're looking forward to having him return, particularly at the point guard position.
Will he start?
He will play. He'll be in the rotation, and we'll get some starters minutes, but we certainly miss Corey. Again, his familiarity with me and my system and our system certainly helps us, and it goes a long way. We brought in 2 twins from Philadelphia, Kareem and Kasim Watson. 6'8", really versatile, can play multiple positions. And an interesting story with those 2 guys, Pastor Curry, they were the first 2 recruits that I brought on campus when I was originally hired.
Oh, okay.
And they had to choose between, their choices came down to Cal Bakersfield out on the West Coast and Delaware State. They chose to go out west. And they told me, they said, Coach, we really loved everything you had to share and sell about Delaware State. If it doesn't work out there, you'll be the first ones we call.
Wow.
They called me this spring and said, we're interested in coming back to the East Coast. So I feel really blessed and fortunate to have those 2 guys back.
What school did they come out of?
They went to West Catholic.
Okay.
West Catholic High School. They're both from West Catholic High School. And again, really versatile guys, can play multiple positions, high character guys. I think they'll be fan favorites. It's always something to have in twins.
Yes, yes.
In so many ways, they're similar, but they're really different. But they will add a lot to what we have. We brought in another young man from Philly.
All right, Philly.
Got a high Philly flavor on this team.
That means you're going to do well. I'm going to let you go ahead.
Yeah, now Munir Newton, he's transferring. He's a senior coming from University of Albany. He played up in New York and didn't feel like he was being utilized the way he wanted to. Again, wanted to come back a little closer to home. We found him in the transfer portal. I think he will be a nice addition to what we have. The last Philly connection, and again, we were heavy in Philly. Robert Smith, a grad student from Westchester University, played Division II, and he was a 3-time first-team All-PSAC at the Division II level, can really score the basketball. Man is his nickname, goes by Man. And I'm laughing and I'll tell that story. He got his degree from Westchester, and I saw his mom posted it on social media last week. He had them put Man on his diploma.
Did he?
Not Robert, Man.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'd like to see you use that one when you try to get a job. But anyway, but he can play. All of these guys add a level of toughness, fortifies us in terms of versatility. And then the last one I'll mention, Javarzia Belton. Remember that name. 6'11", 265 pounds.
Well, he's a beast.
He is a beast.
Inside, where you gonna play at?
Wherever he wants.
Oh, you're right.
Wherever he wants.
Yes.
Big, strong, can really score around the basket. He's got a little minor injury. Hopefully, if we can get him healthy, he'll be a difference maker for us. And then talk about guys returning. We have Martez Robinson, who Last year was the first team all MEAC guy.
Yes.
He was one who had an opportunity to leave.
Right, I was going to say.
To the transfer
I thought
portal. Many reports had him gone.
Right, okay.
Many reports had him gone.
Okay.
And he chose to stay. And again, Pastor, there's stories with all of these guys. We were talking the other day. I said, when that young man walks across the stage in May and gets his diploma, I'm going to shed a few tears because of the maturity that he has demonstrated off the court, on the court. And he's the oldest guy in the programming. He was there when I got there. He was there as a freshman.
Oh, okay.
And so he's the lone holdover that's still here.
And he did very well last year.
And he's done very well, did really, really well in our first game the other night. Had 30 points and 6 rebounds. And so we're happy to have Martez back. He's the leader. He was voted one of our co-captains.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the new guys. That pretty much rounds out the new guys for our team. Again, I left off one guy. We have a young man all the way from Arkansas. Yeah, Jesse. And Jesse is a 6'5" shooter. Hopefully somebody that can stretch the floor and spread the floor for us. So a lot of new personalities that we have to blend and mesh with the returning guys. But again, I like what we put together, and if they can gel and blend, we got a chance to be really good.
Now, before we go any further, the man, brother, how big? You didn't say how big he was.
6'1". 6'1". He's pretty average, normal guy, left-handed, but can really score the basketball. Okay. A little bit of a playground legend in Philly, so to speak. Okay. He had one of those summers where he was all over social media, and I had to say, yo, man, slow down. But I think he's going to be a nice addition to what we have.
This is awesome. Now, you had an opportunity to have a scrimmage.
Yep.
I guess it was about a week ago, by the time this airs. And scrimmages are normally, for those of you who are watching us, scrimmages are normally just a team you play before to get ready for the season, I guess. And many times it's under your talent. Yep. Many times it is. So how did that go, and what did you see? How
It went really well for us, and my philosophy, Pastor, with scrimmages has always been I treat them like practices.
Okay,
like the scoreboard is not really important for me at that point. I'm trying to figure. Although the scoreboard, we had a scrimmage and we won by 50. And I always say if we're 40 better than the team, I want 41. Okay, that's the motto when we're playing. If we're 40 better, I want 41. Excellent. But really, with the scrimmages, we're trying to figure out our rotation, figure out combinations of guys that play well together, who can't play well together, and work on some of the things that we spent all the preseason in the summer to see how well it's going to fit us. So that went really well last week. And it's a dress rehearsal for the regular season, really, is the way I look at it. And then we opened the season this past Monday night. We just got back on yesterday. We went down to Blacksburg, Virginia, and took on the Hokies from Virginia Tech. ACC foe, pretty big, dominant, big-time basketball. Yeah. And when they invite you down for the season opener, you're on the menu.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They put you on the menu. Yeah. But we played well. I was pleased with the effort. We went in to halftime trailing by 8.
Which is unbelievable. And I wanted you to stop there. I know you want to get through this interview, but no, I want people to understand the difference in the programs. It's not that they're better than Delaware State University as a university, but the level of money that their conference put into the programs, and they have to put into the programs, is far different. And that team is considered, aren't they part of the ACC?
They're part of the ACC.
That's one of the top conferences.
Top conferences in the country.
And for you all to go into halftime with 8, y'all wasn't on the menu anymore. Now we got to play these guys for real, is what I'm sure the coach was telling the other team.
Exactly. Well, again, I felt good about our effort and our performance. It was Daniel going into the Lions Den. And you talk about their levels to this thing and the resources that they have. We were just looking at them as we lined up for the anthem. They got 10 assistant coaches. They got 10 managers, and there's no exaggeration. We count them. 10 coaches, 10 managers, and you could just see the difference. You're in an arena that seats 14, 15,000. Uncommon in comparison to what we have. So to be able to go in there and compete and hold our own, I felt really good with the outcome.
Yeah, and I got excited, when I heard that you all had done so well with that type of team. Because that's why we have these, we go down and it's not one of MEAC teams, even though it's going to be counted against you as it relates to our official game, but it won't be counted against your MEAC scoring, or what do you call it, your standing with MEAC. But it's always refreshing to go play a team that is viewed or is considered to be a higher standard team, so that you can really see differently from the scrimmaging what you're really dealing with what they're dealing with under pressure. And you got an opportunity. Did you see anything that you were really liking or concerned about?
Well, no, I mean, again, you get to see the differences in the levels. And of course, you get to see what you are aspiring to be. And I want our program to follow in the footsteps of a Virginia Tech or a Villanova or some of those higher level Power 5 conference type teams. So we get to see how they operate, how they practice, what resources they have, how much work they put in the weight room with their strength and conditioning. So it's an opportunity for me as a coach too to improve and iron sharpens iron and see what they do if they're doing anything
you
different.
being modest. I think you are the coaching side.
that.
You're good, but it's good to see other people's facilities.
Yeah.
Because when it comes down to coaching, you can teach them some things.
Thank you, Coach.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I appreciate that. But and for our guys to see, you know, as they say, how the big boys do it. And so really just to see where we stack up and how we measure up, and we're really not that far off. We're not that far off.
Okay, good. And that's powerful, especially since you're starting afresh again. Yeah. And for those of you who are watching us, you know, this is maybe off the top of your head. Do you know when the first home game is going to be?
Well, we have our first home game on Tuesday night. Next Tuesday's coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. We're playing Gwinnett Mercy.
So that means this Tuesday night, for those of you who are watching. And the reason why I asked that is because it's probably time for us to get those tickets. People to get their tickets, and that's why I was joking well, I wasn't joking, but that's why I brought up about because I'm a season older. For years, I've been that way with Delaware State University. And you would be amazed. One, the student participation is very strong. The alumni participation is very strong. The administration participation is very strong. And you see Coach and his team, they just give it all they have. You need to start off early. So for those of you who do not have, we're going to put the phone number to the ticket office at the bottom of our screen so that you will be able to call in, get your tickets, or just show up and get the tickets at the door. Very seldom do they close it where you can't get in.
Well, we hope that becomes a problem that we'll have. And you've touched on it. Season ticket holders, season tickets are all on sale already.
Yes.
Please get your tickets. Our environment, we love it. You've already described it. It's jumping. And hopefully there will be limited tickets on sale. But we need you all to come on out and support us and help create that environment and make Memorial Hall the toughest place to play in the country.
Yeah, and that was one of your goals too, because when people come in there, they don't need to come in here thinking that we're going to support them.
We don't want them to be comfortable at all.
Right.
Let's make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I think they're starting to do that too, because the last year was really strong, especially when the students start getting in with it, and it's been very, very good. Now, as I come to the end of this part of our interview, if there was one thing before, because when we come back, we're going to talk about your expectations. But if there was one thing that you would really desire from the Wilmington community, what would that be? If there was one, I know there may be two, there may be none, I don't know, but what the desire from us?
Sure. Well, my greatest desire would be for you to get behind us and to support the program. And most of the time when you talk about support, financial is key.
Okay.
And that's huge for us in resources, particularly the alums in Delaware. Delaware is a small state, and I know we got a ton of Hornet graduates here in the area. Yeah. So we could really benefit from your financial support to make donations to support the program. We started our own NIL collective, Hornet 302 Hornet Nation 302, where you can make some contributions to support the program.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So the NIL program, where now collegiate athletes are able to be paid or compensated for the use of their name, image, and likeness. And in most cases, there are corporations and businesses that will either hire them for promotional things, maybe an autograph signing, maybe to use their face in an ad or something of that nature. But there's also a collective piece where we can take donations from supporters, alumni, boosters, friends. Churches, absolutely. If you can make a donation to that, that we are able to use as NIL and to be able to attract and maintain some athletes for Delaware State.
And that's very key and critical for those of you who are watching, especially pastors, especially those individuals who have small businesses, and you want to give. Now, at one point, you had to always give it to the university that was restricted to the athletic program for all the sports. But you can give directly. And I didn't know this, Coach, so I'm glad to hear you say this. So if you can just, in the next segment, we're going to go through it again. Just how do we get connected to that giving portal?
Okay. Well, and that's the first part. I don't want to get stuck there. But, the collective is one. The other piece, if we have our own, each one of our individual athletic programs have their own foundations account.
Oh.
So if you said, I want to donate specifically to basketball and to Coach Waterman to be able to use it however he sees fit to advance his program, you can do that. And you can go to our website. There's a drop-down box. If you go to athletics, and you can click on men's basketball foundations and make a contribution there.
Now, please, now he's putting all that on the screen. You click there, and because even though he's talking fast, I want to make sure he sees some impact for being with us today. Because I do want to see you all. I don't want you to lose any more of your good people because we can't give them a cookie or something.
Right.
So thank you for that. But you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, thanks. So, but that's the first piece, and that's important, the financial support. But also, I always talk about friend raising and building relationships. And maybe you can't contribute to us financially, but come on out and catch a game. Let's fill the stands. Opportunities for our guys to complete service projects. We're big on that. We try to get them out in the community to help at churches, to help out at senior citizens' homes, and to come to daycares and Boys and Girls Club, and just to be involved and be a part of the community, because it is bigger than basketball.
Yes.
Many of these guys, in a few short years, the air is going to come out of the ball and it's going to stop bouncing, and they got to be able to do something else. So to be able to network, to be able to mentor a young man, we would love for you to get involved with our program in that way.
Great. Well, Coach, this is great. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I just want to talk a little bit about, some more about how we can support the program and some expectations you have for the for this season. Now, he said he just want to continue to get better last year. That was his expectations last year. This year, I'm going to help him with one if he doesn't say it. So we'll take a commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This land we love belongs to all of us. Yet not everyone is treated equally. Right now, millions of Americans are fighting for the things promised to all by the Constitution: freedom, justice, equality. The ACLU is leading the fight to protect our civil liberties. Together, we can protect and advance our rights nationwide, because we the people means all of us.
This land was made for you and me.
Learn how the ACLU is defending the right to vote, free speech, and other civil liberties at myaclu.org.
Join us live for our weekly worship. Every Sunday at 9 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, Pastor, I'm doing the best I can, but I still gotta have a little Chardonnay, and I still gotta have a little this, and I gotta still sneak around. The devil is a liar. That's an excuse.
Wilmington's most exciting church.
Christopher Holton. I'm very active. It was a Saturday morning. Normally I go for my normal walk.
With no warning, Chris suffered a near-fatal heart attack. But thankfully, Brian Buckley, a bystander, saw him collapse and rushed to help.
He did this big gasp for air and then just stopped. It's like I went into autopilot. It's like all that training I did back in the day around CPR just magically came out of nowhere.
Because of the CPR training that Brian received, Chris did make it and didn't die on the trail that day. CPR training provided by the American Heart Association.
Looking at your hands, these two hands could save a life.
being a father, you want to be around. You want to be around for your kids.
Heart disease is America's #1 killer. To learn more about how the American Heart Association helps save lives, go to helpheart.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
And we're back. Well, I am very grateful that we have Coach Stan with us today, and he kind of gave me something new that I can share with you all, and that is the NIL support for the team. What is it called again? The
name, use of their name, image, and likeness.
And that's a part of it. You can give to that if you wanted to in different ways, but being able to just go to the website and click on athletics and go down to men's basketball and go to their foundation. That was a great step process that you can do to help. Now, I'm different. I'm a pastor, and I believe in being straight with you. We can do everything we want to do. We should be supporting this program. We have always, not we, but the people in Delaware have always supported the University of Delaware, and they have made sure that the University of Delaware, whatever recognition they can get, they got. We have to start doing the exact same thing for the HBCUs, and many of you are doing it. I don't want to be offensive or insulting, but I do want to be an advocate to say you really need to make sure we are supporting. So these young men that we are bringing, that coaches bringing, I'm saying we, if the coaches bringing in and the team, we want to make sure that they stay around and that we will have those seasons, because the more Delaware State University win in its athletic department, believe it or not, because some people think everything is about the research only in the education side of it. A lot of schools, you talk about Duke, you talk about others, they do have some good research programs, but for real, it's their athletic department that really brings the attention to the university. And we are blessed in Delaware State University because it's led by Tony Allen, who is an outstanding president. So I'm hoping that you will support the team. Coach, I'm just wondering, what expectations do you have for this upcoming season?
Well, expectations are high, Pastor Curry. I talked about first year changing the culture, second year getting better and improving, wanting to get better. I can tell you the goal this year is to win the MEAC championship and to get to the NCAA tournament. I feel like we've grown, we've gone through that process, and we're to that point where we're ready to compete. And I feel like the personnel that we have is good enough to compete. And we got close last year. We knocked on the door, so we know what that feeling's like. And now we want to take it a step further. And hopefully win the MEAC championship and get to the NCAA tournament.
That's right. And the Bible says that the power of life and death is in your tongue. So since you've spoken it, we're going to look forward to God making it happen.
Absolutely.
And that's the way we're going to pray.
Absolutely.
And you all have gotten there with a new team. Okay. I want to make sure people understand he got another new team. It's like last year he had to pull one together, and this year he had to get another one. And listening to all the personnel that you brought in, I'm excited. I can't wait to get down there just to see what's going on.
Well, I'm excited as well, and I'm inviting everybody else to come on down and watch the product that we are hoping to put out on that floor. That will be exciting. We're going to play a fun brand of basketball that will be entertaining. Again, the atmosphere and the environment in Memorial Hall is second to none. We got the oldest building in the conference, but it's a lot of fun to get down there and play. Like I said, when the band is doing their thing and the cheerleaders are out there, and it is a fun place. The environment is great, and so we look forward to having you come out and support us.
How are the people treating you down at Del State?
They're treating me well. They're treating me well, and I don't have any complaints. Again, I am blessed to be able to do what I love to do, which is coaching basketball and impacting the lives of young people, and to be able to do it right here at home where I didn't have to uproot, I didn't have to move my family, and people here know me, and I hope they rally around me and support me. And so I'm looking forward to that, to continue.
That's awesome. How your team did very well, not only on the court, but they did very well in the classroom. Can we just have a minute of talking about that?
Yeah, so I'm super excited. Again, that was one of the challenges and the charges when I was hired. We had gone through some academic struggles, particularly with the men's basketball program, but I'm happy to tell you that we have improved and progressed. I think last year we were, in both the fall and spring semester, the men's basketball team had the highest GPA of all the sports teams. The APR, which is the academic performance rate, something the NCAA rates you on, and I don't even know if this is public yet. It probably will be by the time this airs. We got a perfect score. We got 1,000 score on that for this past spring. So we are excited about the direction that we're heading. We got a super academic support team led by Kyle Graves and another young lady who's from Wilmington, Arnice King, who's a recent hire, returned back to Delaware State, and they do an amazing job of helping us stay on top of our athletes and make sure monitoring their academic progress and performance.
That's awesome. And we don't have any discipline problems.
We don't have any discipline problems. I think the former disciplinarian down at Delaware State did a pretty good job of that. Now, our guys are, again, we look for high character guys, guys that are going to represent me and the program and Dr. Allen well. And I'm knocking on wood and continuing to pray that continues for us.
Yes. Well, Coach, I want to give you an opportunity. But before I give you the opportunity to share whatever you want to share, because people who are watching this show today, they are impressed, and I'm saying this on their behalf, with a Wilmingtonian who kept his life together, because these things matter. You kept your life together, and I love the way you tell the truth about God gave you a wife who was a part of that journey, produced an outstanding daughter who did well. One of my favorite lines that I often say to people I mentor is, don't let your gift take you to a place your character won't let you stay. And you have really found the way to make it happen. You do come from great parents, a great family. I'm not even trying to say that that's not it. But even you can come from the best family. You can come from the best parents and still be wayward. But something, God had his hand on you, that you were able not to be perfect, but to keep your life together. And now how you're pouring into these young people, starting at Stanford, now at Delaware State, it's just remarkable. That's why I keep calling you for interviews.
Well, thank you.
Because I want to stay connected. Tell me, of all of your, I can't say what is your secret, because that would be giving it away. but what is the driving force that keeps you together?
Well, I think it's, again, it's going to sound like a cliche, but it's all about relationships and how you treat people. And how you respond to what happens to you. Like so many times, we often remind our guys, it's not so much what happens, but how you respond to it. And the things that you can control, make sure you take control of them.
That's right.
The things that you can't control, let it go. Pray about it. That's been a focus for me. And I always try to treat people with respect and dignity, and hopefully they return that. And if there's a secret, I think that's been it. I think I can walk into any room and hold my head high and say that I've never been disrespectful or dishonest with anybody. I try to be honest. I'm honest with people and share exactly what's on my mind without being offensive. And being open to even constructive criticism. I've had a lot of people in my life, from coaches, mentors, pastors, who've prayed for me, who've poured into me, who've made sure I understood the difference between right and wrong. A lot of times I'll say to my guys, I'm not always right, but I'm never wrong. And when I say that, the premise is I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong as long as I'm trying to do right by you.
That's right.
And that's been my belief and my philosophy with everything, from my academic lifehood to my social relationships to coaching basketball. Like, I'm not going to do anything to harm you.
Right.
If I'm going to do anything with you or for you, that's what it is. My intent is to help you and to help myself.
Yeah, I think I told you the last time you were here, my dentist, Dr. Ekman. He was doing work in my mouth, and I was telling him I had to go. I wanted to get down to the game. And he said, where are you going to go to the game? I said, I'm going to Delaware State. He said, that's where Stan is. I said, oh, you know him, but he's in my mouth.
Right.
He said, yeah. And he talked about the impact. And that's why I don't want anyone who's watching us today to think I'm just trying to boost him up or get free tickets because I'm a season older. I got my tickets. And I'm not looking for a job neither.
Right.
Well, I can't coach anyway, so it doesn't matter. But he said to me, his boys, I think he had 2 sons that
he had
went
2
there.
sons.
And he spoke to what you did in their character. Yes, they played. Mm-hmm. But he didn't speak to the athletes, their ability to play. He spoke to how you impact their character. And he will always, this is what he says to me, I will always be grateful for him.
Wow.
And he promised me, and Doc, if you're watching, because I'm going to send you this if you're not, you promised me you was going to go surprise him. So I'm going to try to get him there for at least one of the games this year, because he promised he was going to come, because he really spoke. And I was shocked. I was like, oh my Lord, your reach is very far. But his sons went to Stanford too, and they were a part of your team, I believe it was.
Yeah, that's powerful, and that does me all the good to hear that, because his sons, they were really good players.
Yeah.
And we won state championships together. Mm-hmm. And he's not talking about the basketball. He's talking about the relationship and the character development, and those are the things that will go a long way. Like I said, I've been doing it long enough now, Pastor, that I'm getting invites to their weddings and their baby christenings and all of those things, which to me, it signifies that we've done the right things and we built relationships that'll be life lasting.
And you're getting old.
And I'm getting old.
Yeah, you can say that part
leave
too.
that out. I'm getting old for sure.
Yeah, but that's great. Coach, share whatever you want to share with the audience, because they're happy to see you here today. Anything you want to share to help some young person or some person is your moment.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'll start just by saying always gratitude. Mm-hmm. Gratitude, to take a moment for anybody who's done anything for you or with you, to express gratitude. And I would certainly be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to thank you for you've always been there and supportive of me and my family and whatever venture it is that I am. So I'm thankful for that. And you know, success does not happen in a vacuum. You don't do it alone. You don't do it on your own. There's always somebody who's poured into you. And I would say always take a moment to express your gratitude and to thank people for what they have poured or instilled in you. And I want to thank you.
Well, and I thank you too, because I don't care when I call you, you come. I was like, I said to Tony one time, I said he's a very humble, real brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Because some people are not real. They're humble, but they're not real. But
I appreciate
you are very much both, and I appreciate it. I wish you all guys all the luck, or blessings in our case, for this season to come. Could you please share with us one more time how those who are watching can give, and we're going to make sure it's on the screen as well, but how can they give directly to the men's basketball program?
Certainly. Thank you for that opportunity. Again, we need all the support that we can get, particularly from our local community. Alums, people that I know support Delaware State University and support me and the programs that I've been associated or involved with. The one opportunity would be to donate directly to our Hornet 302 collective. That helps particularly with the NIL, name, image, and likeness. The other way would be to support our Men's Basketball Foundation's account. And you can go directly to the Delaware State University website, click on athletics, and then down to giving. And men's basketball, you click on that and you can make a donation there. In that account, that gives me the opportunity to use those funds however we see fit to promote the program. So we would thank you for that. I thank you in advance for that. And I hate to just talk about the financial side. Friend raising, continue to support us. Come on out and catch a game. Mentor a guy, make a relationship, say hello, help us out in any way you can. And thank you for that.
Well, that's awesome. You see, he don't like to talk about the finances, but listen, that's how we
Gotta
keep
have
this
it.
program going.
That's business.
But you are very much a person who's more friendly. You want to be with people, but we got to have some money.
Absolutely.
I think it was Mom's maybe that said romance without finance. I ain't going to say no more. All right. But okay, we'll leave it there. But look, we're going to take a quick, but not more commercial breaks. We're going to leave us on this note, but we want to take this opportunity to stand again. I want to say to you, thank you. Thank you for what you do for humanity. I want to thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing a great year, regardless of how it turns out. We know that the heart was to make sure it's always at the top. And that's all that matters to me.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you so much, Stan. You have a good one.
Thank
All
you.
right, God bless.
All right. God
we'll
bless
be
you.
right back.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, they haven't drank anything, they're cold, they're dehydrated.
As soon as we started our descent, everywhere I could see was mud. Just absolutely mud.
The country has been in prolonged drought for so long, it was like a tinderbox waiting to go up.
Okay, very heavy. Each of us wants to be part of the solution, and we can be. Remember that there's good happening right now. At home.
All right, we were able to get into your unit, and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
okay.
And around the world. For any animal in any disaster. So let's focus on that, right? Be part of the solution, one rescue at a time. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
Home. It's the place where we go to feel secure, safe, and loved. But for thousands of youth living on the streets, there's no such thing as home. Out here, it's a predatory world that can destroy lives forever. At Covenant House, we give at-risk youth a place to go where they feel safe, supported, and people care about their future. A place to call home. To help or get help, go to safeplacetosleep.org.
We are women first, but women with disabilities last.
During a military exercise, we crashed and I broke my neck.
When I was in the Air Force, an accident changed my life. I couldn't have imagined the injustices I would face.
Every day, women like me go to the doctor for annual checkups for conditions like breast cancer. Early detection saved my life. But women with disabilities face a cruel reality: inaccessible medical facilities and equipment.
In the 25 years since my injury, I have not seen a gynecologist. There's not one accessible OBGYN in my community.
I found lumps in my breast. I went to a doctor's office I was told was accessible. But when I got there, I couldn't get through the front door.
I don't know where I'd be today without access to testing. Our veterans deserve better. Help PVA fight for access at pva.org.
Smiles are powerful. A simple smile can light up a whole room. And for 25 years, Smile Train has been lighting up the world with smiles. And each smile marks a step towards a brighter future. As the world's largest cleft lip and palate charity, Smile Train has supported more than 2 million life-changing cleft surgeries in over 90 countries, leaving a legacy of resilience, joy, and beaming smiles for generations of children. To learn more about cleft lips and palates and how Smile Train is supporting the cleft community all over the world, please visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, lighting up the world with smiles for 25 years.
And we're back. I am very grateful to God that God has given me friends who can show up to show you that life is large and your connections with each other and being able to pour into each other really matters. Stan Waterman has done a whole lot of work in this community. I can tell you some young people who went to Stanford who didn't have money, but they found a way to go. He found a way. He served as a basketball coach, athletic director, even I think dean of students or something of that nature. He took care of his people. And I am just grateful as he's down there at Delaware State, which is one of my hearts. I worked there for several years. And for him to take this program to where it is today is just amazing. This is what happens when you're driven by faith, trust, and belief in God. I'm not making this a religious moment, but what I am going to do is say, we need more Black brothers like Stan Waterman.
Wow.
And he is not the perfect man, because none of us are perfect, but he is God-fearing, and he does have a heart for people. That's what a Christian is. So I hope and trust that you enjoyed today's show, and I'm looking forward to going down. We may bring the cameras down one time just to get y'all some highlights, so you all who can't get there will be able to really see that he's doing a great work down there. And it's not just their ability to be an athlete, but he's building character. They will be able to do way more when the ball have stopped bouncing. So I look forward to talking with you, but until the next time we get together, may the Lord God bless you real good.
Thank you for watching this episode of Coffee with Curry. Tune in next week, Sunday at 11 a.m.